Hello, Plannerets. How are you? I'm Marianne, and I am persistent. For those of you who may not know, this is my third time trying to go live with this Plan With Me July monthly cover page in my A5 bullet journal. And here I am. So if you are here with me live, just like Margie, hi, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you say hello in the live chat, or of course, if you are watching this on replay, make sure you say hello there as well. Now, hopefully, it looks like my microphone's working. It looks like I'm not freezing. It looks like my buttons all work, and we are ready to go. So let's get on with it. I am, like I said, in my A5 dotted journal. It is the Luxterm 1917. The cover of this one is powder pink, but you can't see it because I am using a Hobonichi cousin cover in this cute teal with the coral lining. This was from 2024, I think spring 2024. I think though they may still have this color available, so do check out the Hobonichi store or their local stockist near you. And I do also have the clear plastic cover over it. It's because my desk can get a little bit dusty, and then that just helps protect it. So now I actually, in my membership earlier today, I did a quiet focus where I flipped through my previous bullet journal pages from 2017, 2018, and 2019. Yay, Margie says she is good and can hear you loud and clear. We got there, we got there. For those of you watching on Instagram, say hello as well. So I wanted to just shop my own previous planner spreads in my bullet journal. Other things that I do in what I've done in the past is look through Pinterest. And before I was really into Instagram back then, my main source of inspiration was Pinterest and Amanda Rachley on YouTube. So if you are a bullet journaler and like to create your own planner spreads from scratch, then the bullet journal is good for you. But then, of course, let me know what planner systems you use. Are you in what size, first of all? A5, Happy Planner Classic, Letter, Big Happy Planner, Personal, Pocket, Franken Planning, B6. Let me know, and how is it going for you? I tend to change my mind from time to time. So for the July bullet journal cover, I took inspiration from this little doodle back in October 18th in 2017. So my first year of bullet journaling. So I'm going to create these little flowers and plants in mason jars. I have already penciled in ahead of time, so then that way I'm not second guessing along the way. So the pens I'm going to be using are these lettering felt tip pens from Hand Lettering Design. These were gifted to me by a lovely plannerette. And so here is the pencil drawing. And then I'm also going to add a July heading on this side. And then the left-hand side, I have just penciled in the July calendar. So let me just show you what June looks like. So then that way you can see how my June cover page. So that's the June cover page. Again, inspiration from my old planner pages. This little drawing, it was inspired by Inslee by Design. She's on Pinterest. And then the little calendar on the left-hand side. So ideally, the two-page spread would be like that. So I'm going to start off with getting, I think I might use the 06. So that's the felt tip pen there. And I have outlined where I would want the jars to be sitting. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit closer so then you can see it. Now let's see. I just for the moment sort of like penciled the rectangular shape, but this first one here, I'm going to make it like a skinny bottle. And then so just let me just draw that on, so then at least I have an outline. So once again, if you say to yourself, oh, I'm not very good at drawing. Look, I used to say that too. And it only comes with practice, right? And the great thing with doodling is that, it doesn't have to be perfect. So don't be afraid to just experiment, and then you will get better as you do more little drawings, more little doodling. So I'm just going to try and make the, see if I've got music in here, make the sort of like the sides of the jars a little bit even. And then this one here, I'm making it into sort of like a shorter one, and sort of like a fat jar. And so at the bottom here, just round out the bottom, so then it sort of like gives a nice little sort of like a roundedness to it, so it doesn't look like it's too flat. And then just doing the rim of the jar, we can add details to it as we use the the felt tip pen. And then this one, so a little bit taller, and then but wider than the skinny one in the middle. And again, just round out the bottom. And then yeah, it does whatever shape you like. You can make odd shape jars or vases. Okay, so that's a good start. And then I think that'll be a good start for now. We can go and use the pencil. I wonder if the music, can I hear the music? Can I hear music? Let me know if you can hear music, or is it maybe on mine? Is mine connected? Okay, all right, so now let's get in with the actual felt tip pen. So the first one is just the top of the jar, okay, maybe the lip of the jar there. And then, so again, doesn't have to be perfect, and you can go and do that. Let me see if I can, why can't I hear music? No music, no, I can't hear it either. What is going on? What is going on? Let me see if I've got some other ones. We don't want Christmas music. Let me see here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let me know if that's okay. All right. Okay, that's a bit better. Tell me if it's too loud, because all right, so then that's the first one, and then I'll add details to it after. So we'll just get the basic shapes of the mason jar. So this one is look, you know what? I was going to say the spacing between these ones are not even, but when you're doing your decorations on your table, they're not always evenly spaced, so we're going to have it like that. Okay, and then maybe the lip like that, so adding some details, so then that way. And then because I'm going to make this look like it's clear glass, I'm just going to sort of like add as if this is sort of like where the light reflects on it. I'm going to just make this focus, so then it's not trying to focus on my hand. So then just like that on the side. Okay, and then let's do this one here. So it's a little bit taller than this one. And then again, we'll have a nice little lip to the jar. And then round out the bottom. Okay. There we go. And then we're going to just add a tabletop. All right. And then to make it look like, you know, a little bit of the tabletop is showing in front of it, just draw some lines like this. Just add a little bit of detailing. Okay, because what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to keep it plain line drawing. So I most likely won't color it in. Okay. And then, oops, let's go add the reflection on this one. And because I'm going to make it look like it is a clear glass, so we can sort of see the other side. So in the bottom here, just the rounded side of the jar, and just use broken lines. So then it sort of like denotes that it's, you know, it's the other side. Okay. So there we go. That's a pretty good 3 set of jars we've got there. Right, now with the flowers and the plants, again, these don't have to be any specific plants. And so what we're going to do in this tall one, I'm going to put sort of like maybe 2 daisies. Well, I think these will be daisies anyway. Okay, so just get your stem like that. And then this particular one, we're going to make it look like we can see the daisies from the side. Okay, so I don't know any of the flower bits, you know, I don't remember it from class. I know stem, I know the I know the petals. Okay, oh, that's looking nice. So you can make it look a little bit cartoony-ish. So then that way, if you don't want to make it look too realistic. Okay, and then we'll just have one. So like you can see the full bloom of the flower. And then just fill this in. Okay. If you wanted to leave it at that, just one, or you can use this, you know, when you're doodling any of the pages that you have. You don't have to just limit it to a bullet journal cover or a cover page. All right, what do we think so far? So that's 1 mason jar with 2 flowers coming out of it. Let me quickly double check my little inspiration. And so then that way, so then this one here, whoop, let me just take the focus off. All right, so this one on the left, it looks like it is just all leaves. So we'll do that as well. We'll just make it all just leaves. Okay, so then let's go and just create a few different size stems. Okay, maybe one going that way, and then just fill it with leaves. Okay, so branch with leaves, and just make it go down the stem. So again, I don't know yet if I'll color this in. Most likely not. I'll just sometimes keeping it as a line, black line drawing is enough. That's like the artistry of it. But if you wanted to add color to any of your little drawing, then you can do so. I'm just adding there. Okay, so then that's another one. How's that looking? And then this one, I think the way I did this sort of like a little floral with just like little circles. As you can see, I colored that one in. So let's go do that. I mean, that already is quite good, if I do say so myself. And just have some of these little ones here. And then just lots of cluster of circles. Circles, circles, circles. Okay. Again, it doesn't have to be true to life plants and flowers. You can just, if you wanted, you can make these rectangles or triangles. Okay, just cluster of little bulbs. Let's call them little bulbs or little seeds. Okay, and more here. And then that just adds a little bit of okay, adds a little bit of differentiation for the different. So I mean, if you wanted, you can have them all daisies, or you can have roses, tulips, whatever your favorite flower is. And then maybe I'm gonna add a few little leaves at the bottom of the stem. Okay, maybe some leaves here just to add. Okay, what do you think? Right, and that little line there, so that it's sitting on a table. I'm going to leave it as is for the moment. I'm not going to erase it yet, because in case any of the ink hasn't dried. Now, as for July, again, I'm just going to keep that very simple. Okay, let me make sure I'm focusing on the right area, so that it's not trying to focus on my hand. And then just continue that line. So that I might just leave it at that. I'm not going to color it in. Just one side of it, thicken it up. Okay. How did everyone's June go? I know we've got one more week left. Is there one more week? Yes, one more week left. Was it a good month for you? Let's do that. Okay, July. You know what? I am actually going, because I added that little bar in the middle there, I'm going to make it a stripe. Again, because I want to balance, because this bit is quite top heavy with all the different lines. I want to make the July heading. Hi, Georgia. The July heading balance out all those little scribbles. Okay. See how easy and simple. You don't have to, I mean, if you wanted to have fancier hand lettering, of course you can. Okay, there we go. Look at that. I think that as is looks pretty darn good. Okay, so we'll leave that one as well. We won't erase it yet. And then with probably a 03, I'm going to go and do the calendar. Okay, so I've got the calendar. I'm going to continue that same July heading. Let me go and zoom in or focus on that bit. Okay. And then with the thinner, because you want to get a thinner. Yeah, it does look nice, doesn't it? Much sometimes even I get a surprise myself. You know how I guess because I was of the opinion that, you know, I wasn't a good drawer when I first started out. You know, you watch everyone else's, but the more you do it, the better you are at it, the better you get, and you establish your own style. Okay, so if you're going to go and create smaller drawing, then of course thinner nib or smaller nib would be good. So then that way you can it doesn't get too like chunky. But again, it depends on your aesthetic. Okay, and then I'm going to go and just hand draw a line to just border the days of the week. So we got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next week's we got 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Let me write this all down because I know if I'm not careful, I'll get the dates. 19, 20. So there's a few. Anyone have birthday in July? I have my oldest birthdays in July, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Now actually I didn't want the June date there. So I'm gonna cover that up. I want it specifically just the July pages. Okay, let's have a look. There we go. Okay, so very simple. I'll probably leave that as that, and then now it's just a matter of erasing the pencils and then just looking at it to see if there's anything else we can add or if we're happy as is. So yeah, if you have cover pages for your planner, it doesn't have to be. In the past, when I first started bullet journaling, I thought, you know, because of what you see big accounts do, that I had to have, you know, a specific theme, or that for those of you that purchase sticker sets, that, you know, you got to, if it's here in Australia, June was the start of winter, right? So if you, for you where you are, you know, I think your summer holiday, summer break is starting, then, you know, of course you might want to do summer theme. But sometimes what I've found for myself anyway is the pressure of having to have a theme, you know, or having a color scheme, or to continue the theme throughout. And sometimes, you know, I get bored. You know, it's like, oh, maybe I don't want to continue the theme. All right, so I'm just going to get a gray Tombow brush tip N95. Now this one is already actually not a lot of ink in it, so which is fine, because I don't want the gray to stand out too much, but I do want a little bit of definition for it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with it. Okay, and a little bit darker underneath the jars, so that could be okay. All right, maybe I'm going to go and color the. So the good thing with these from hand lettering design It's waterproof and smudge proof, so you can, you know, color or water over it. Okay. Right. Now I do want, I may add some color. I may add some color. Where's my baby blue? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna add baby blue just on the edges of the jar, so then you can see that it is, you know, a clear jar. So if you have a baby blue, you don't have to color the whole jar, but just the side or maybe the bottom. Okay, and maybe the rim. All right. Now, do I want to color it? No. Yes? I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it not colored. Yes. And if I wanted to color it later, then that could be something I can do. All right, so there we go. So far, I have done my July Bujo monthly cover page using line drawings of 3 mason jars, just like that. And then the July heading, again, very simple. I did use the little horizontal line just to balance the top heaviness of the flowers and the petals of the mason jar. And then on the left hand side, I've got the calendar. So July starts on Wednesday next week, and I will probably be showing up between now and Monday, Tuesday. So that's the cover page. I have already bookmarked the other pages. So I'm going to be doing a July calendar spread. I've got my habit tracker, mood and sleep tracker. I want to do a picture a day. I have a little photo printer that can print a little square photos, and so I might do that and be intentional in capturing something, you know, a little moments of the day. So then that way I have, yeah, it's just a nice little snapshot of July. So I'm going to have sort of like a 1 picture a day spread. I might have goals, my top 3 goals for July, and maybe a vision board. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you do. That way, you know, when I do show up live at different times of the day, you can get notified. I'm going to have my expense tracker for July, and so that'll take up 4 pages. And then before June 29th, I will have my weekly spread done. So I might be changing my normal plan with me, regular plan with me. In the past, I did it my Monday. I'm here in Sydney, Australia. Monday, my 5 a.m., which meant I had to wake up. I didn't have to, but I woke up at 4 to have something to eat, set up my little studio, turn on all the lights, the cameras, and have this setting. But I'm finding that I need sleep because sleep, of course, helps with what I'm going through with the perimenopause symptoms, and has been helped. My getting more sleep has been helping with my high blood pressure, so that's starting to become normal again. And so I may be moving my Plan With Me session on my Sunday, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Time. So that for those in the US, that might be your Saturday afternoon or evening. And then that also gives me time to be already set up for my new week rather than setting it up the day of Monday. Sounds so much better now. Thank you, Miss Ocampo. How are you? Hope your new book and your new project is going well. And so, yeah, much better now, indeed, a little bit better. Okay, so that is it for now. I better get off because homeschool is starting. I did ask my younger son if he can stay in the bedroom for a little bit, so he's probably been being very, very patient, but we need to start homeschooling and get the day started. Thank you so much for joining me, Plannerettes. If you are watching this on replay, make sure to say hello and tell me, what do you think of my July monthly cover page in my A5 dotted grid bullet journal? I'll see you all later. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.